Alright, here we are. We're in Bali, Indonesia, and I'm just talking about a few boards here. We have Benji Brand's heading up to Kandui Resort, and he asked me to kind of figure out some boards for him that would be kind of the ideal quiver from small, tiny little days all the way up to pumping Kandui, whatever, you know, just kind of the whole spectrum of waves. And then to give you like a little bit of a variety, so you're not just like, oh, this is the shortboard and this is their middle board and this, you know. I wanted to make a quiver that was kind of interesting and fun, and chose some of the boards that he really liked already and some stuff I wanted to see him try. So the first board is called the Tiger Twin, and this is our new twin fin that we've been making. It's a 2+1 actually, it's not just a straight twin fin, but this is something new that we've just come out with in the last year, and people have been really liking this, and I'm really excited to see Benji trying this because it's something I think will suit him really well, and I think he's going to like it a lot. It's got like a kind of a wider nose, more of like an old school kind of wider outline, but then the tail kind of tapers back into this little bump and then into a pulled in swallowtail. Plus, like I said, it has a 2+1 setup, so you can run just straight twin fins, bigger twin fins with nothing behind there, or you can put in a twin fin like an MR set where it has a little trailer fin, which is really nice too, for a little stabilizer fin. People that are, I like to say, twin curious. They're not ready to commit all the way to a twin fin, so you throw a little trailer in there and it makes you kind of feel a little bit more like your thruster without being too scared. The other thing you can do, and some of my team riders like this, is they actually just ride this as a regular thruster. It's not something that the fins are directly set up for, but it's worked really well for those guys. Like Finn McGill actually really loves it. So anyways, you can go all these different ways. This board's great in little tiny waves. It's kind of more of like the groveler end of that, but it also can handle full-on surf depending on your abilities and what you kind of like to do. That's the Tiger Twin. Okay, so the next board on the list for Benji for his trip to Kandui is the Wildcat Twin. This board, unlike the Tiger Twin, this board is strictly a twin fin only. There's no trailer, there's no extra spot to throw an extra fin back there. This is something I wanted to design to just only work as a twin fin for sure. It was kind of a little challenge for me, and it's worked out really well. This board, compared to like the Tiger Twin, the Wildcat has a lot more narrow nose. It's almost like a performance outline nose, old school like 80s performance, and it's got a little bit more nose rocker than the Wildcat, and I mean rather than the Tiger Twin, and then it has a real nice flat tail rocker, which is really fast and really drivey. This whole board, I've talked about it quite a bit before, but this board is just something that is kind of a performance board really, but it's a twin fin performance with kind of an old school look to it. It's something that Benji has loved this board in the past, and I'm sure he's going to love it for up there too. Wildcat, step up from the Tiger Twin. board number 3 in the Mentawai Quiver. Another one for Benji, which this is a Pyzalien 2. And this is a board I've been making for years and years, and it's just one of, like, everybody just seems to love this board no matter what. It's not something that actually we sell that often in stores for some reason, but it's something that anybody I make this board for comes back to me and is usually really stoked on it. It's kind of something that works all over the world in different kinds of waves. Like, I've had guys love this at Huntington Beach, and then they have guys that love it in Indo, you know? So it's kind of a very, the rocker's really, I think it's just really accommodating to a lot of different kinds of surf and different styles of surfing. It's got a little bit more thickness through the front of the board than like a typical high-performance shortboard does. I feel like this board actually, I designed this board so long ago, and it was a little weird back then, but now I think more boards we've kind of adjusted so that this is kind of more of a typical shortboard looking board. It's just got a real nice smooth overall rocker. This thing, as you can see, is going to be a 5-fin, and that way you can ride it as a quad or a thruster, whichever one you want. And yeah, this is just something that I feel like you can ride this in really kind of weaker, burgery waves, and then you can ride this in just really good hollow, great waves, and it's a nice performance thruster basically. Usually, sometimes in Indo people might prefer it as a quad just for that like long, speedy driving kind of feeling to it, where you're not really trying to do turns as much as just like make a long barrel. And yeah, something that I think is going to be really fun. Board 4. Alright, so board 4 on the 5-board Indo Quiver. This is something that a lot of people have probably heard about, and hopefully, I don't know, but this is the Radius Prime, and this is something, this board's like a full-on high-performance shortboard. With this particular version is a round tail, which is something for here that just feels like a little bit better. You're not really going to ride squash tails when it's kind of pumping. The round tail tends to hold a little bit better. You can push it a bit harder off the bottom, and that's what we want to be able to do here. This board is really curvy. It's got a lot of rocker through the whole thing, so it tends to work very best in curvy waves. The curvy rocker fits a curvy wave, and it's not the best for, like, you don't want to ride this like some mushy point wave that's barely going. You're going to have trouble generating speed. It's going to take a lot of work, but this thing in a decent bowly wave with a little cup to it is incredible. And the curve that it fits into that curve really nicely, so you can just push super hard without it wanting to pop out of the water. It's just something that pretty much all of my team riders around the world, this is like their go-to board for performance surfing, and something that's really nice. Here in Indo, everybody really tends to gravitate towards this board, and they're super happy they can kind of push it into some bigger surf, but at the same time, when it's not so big, as long as it's a decent wave, this board works really well. So just full, pure high performance and super fun. For example, yeah, Benji in Kandui lefts is going to be getting barreled on this board, coming out of barrels and doing big turns, and it's going to hold through everything, and it's going to have plenty of speed, and it's just going to feel like nice and controllable as well with that tail. When he's pushing off the bottom, he's not going to feel like he has to back off. He's going to be able to go as hard as he can, and that's really nice. A squash tail is going to kind of give you a little bit of a hesitation possibly in a bigger wave. This is going to hold pretty much anything that he wants to ride against. number 5 of the 5-board Quiver for your dream trip to Kandui Resort. Mental-wise, wherever, any good waves. So this is the Ghost. And most people that are familiar with my boards have probably heard about this board. It's something that I developed a long time ago, and it's something that John's kind of made his name on, or my name on, or whatever. He's done a great job surfing it in a lot of places. And so basically this board is a great step-up board. If you ride it a bit smaller, you can use it as just kind of a normal shortboard as well, but it's kind of designed to get yourself into waves a little bit easier. It's got a little bit more thickness through the front end of the board. It's got a wider nose than a typical like step-up board. So the outline is a little bit more parallel, so you can actually ride this a little bit shorter. The whole idea with this was ride a little bit shorter board for a step-up in bigger waves. So you're getting kind of like, if you have a 6.0 Ghost, it's almost like you're riding like a normal 6.2 to 6.3, even 6.4 step-up board. You can kind of get the extra paddle and stability of that bigger board, but then have the maneuverability and like the tube riding kind of readjustment shortness, which is always really nice. The other thing about this board that's a big feature is it has the thickness is centered in the middle of the board, like in the stringer, and then it really tapers way down into the rail. So you have a really fine rail for the thickness in the center. And then through the tail, you can see also that it tapers way down to really just tiny, really thin tail. What that does is it gives you all this paddle power and stability, but you have of a thicker board, but you have the feelings of a thinner board. When you're turning it, you have the sensitivity of a thinner board. One of the ways I really like to describe the Ghost to make it simple is that it rides a little bit longer than it is, and it also rides a little bit thinner than it is. So if you see a board that's like 2.5 inches thick, it's not going to feel like that when you're surfing it. It's going to paddle like that, but it's not going to feel like that when you're surfing. It's going to feel a little bit thinner. Okay, yeah. So the other thing of the Ghost that's a really apparent, obvious feature is that it has a really pulled in tail. So this board's going to hold in almost any sort of conditions. Like you can push off the bottom on this like it's a bigger step-up board. It's going to handle some pretty solid, like pushy waves, and you can still just push as hard as you want against it, which makes it really nice, and you can have a lot of confidence in this board. This thing is for the top of kind of the scale for waves here in Indo generally, except unless you're surfing like giant waves where you're going to a whole nother level. As far as just kind of normal boards up into like the double overhead range, this is a really good board for that. So basically there you have it. We got a 5-board Quiver. We're going from the Tiger Twin, the Wildcat, the Pyzalien 2, the Radius Prime round tail, and then topping it off, we got the Ghost. So these are boards that Benji's going to take up to Kandui Resort and take them for some test rides and see how they go. So,
how do you think he's going to do?
I think he's going to get barreled. I can guarantee that.